What is going on, guys? My name is Vinny Vega, and today I want to talk to you guys how I left Freedom. And it happened a few days ago where I was completely unlinked from their network, and I'm going to go into specifically why. Now, this kind of goes back to about a couple months ago. I was at work with my friend Wes was working with me, and he asked me, well, what has Freedom done for you so far? And at that point, I think I was partnered with them for about a month or so, and I could not answer that. I had no actual logical answer to why am I partnered with them and what they have done for me.
What would you say you do here?
When it comes right down to it, what is the value that you get from your network when it comes to the money split? Now, money isn't a big issue for me. I'm a small channel, and I'm still a small channel at the moment. At this point in time, I'm not going to be making anything anyway, outside of maybe $1 here and there. But for a lot of people, they've also said that Freedom can be late on their payments, or they don't pay as much. I do believe part of the reason why they don't pay as much has to do with the fact that Google gets their cut first and goes to Freedom, and then what's left over from that, they take their 40%, and that's why people are a little discouraged. They say, well, that's not 40-60 split, there's more to it than that. And that's because Google takes their cut as well. And a lot of people don't realize that. If you want to understand the way it works, Google will take 45% of the cut. It then goes to Freedom or whatever MCN that you're with. They take their cut, which is usually 40%, which leaves you with what, roughly 33%, somewhere in that area. So that's a substantial amount of money that you're losing out on. Now, like I said, as a small channel, that's not a big deal because you're basically making cents on the dollar or a dollar, here and there. You're not making a ton. You're not making something to where, oh, I can make a living off of YouTube now. That's not the point. The point is, when your channel grows and you are at that stage where you can make a living off of YouTube, or you're making a decent amount of money to where it's like a second job almost, that's when there comes to the point where that's a very significant cut. For the value that they give you, they really aren't doing anything for you. And this is the case for most MCNs. In fact, most MCNs out there are complete scam artists, straight up. And I think a lot of people, myself included, jump into a network because they think that, oh, it will make my channel more professional, or, people say, oh, look, he's partnered with this network, so, he must be a good YouTube channel, or something along those lines. But when it comes right down to it, most people don't even care if you have a partner or whatever the case may be. They care about what videos you're making. Like, if they watch a video, if they're entertained by it, they're going to hit that subscribe button, and that's what it really boils down to. It's not, what you're affiliated with, what sponsors you have, or whatever the case may be. Most people don't give a shit about that. What value are you getting from your MCN? Not just Freedom, any MCN period. 90% of the MCNs out there will rip you off and will do nothing for you. So this is why I left Freedom. I also find it strange that they force monetize on your channel, meaning that you don't have the option to unclick the monetization button. Or from what I understand, most networks will allow you to choose when you want to monetize. Generally speaking, if you use any of their music or their branding, you will have to monetize that video. On the flip side of things, if you make a video that has no branding in it whatsoever, you can choose to not monetize that. But with Freedom especially, I see that, they force monetize on your channel, and that doesn't seem right to me. It kind of tells me that the fact that they grab up so many channels, whether you have, 0 subscribers or whatever amount of subscribers, or you could have no views whatsoever, they'll still grab you up. There's channels out there that have literally one video under Freedom, and they still accept them because they want to grab up all these small channels so they can benefit them more. That's what it seems like, at least. And it makes me not want to grow with them, if that makes any sense. You always see George on there saying, oh, let's grow together. But the fact of the matter is, they're not actually helping you out. It's you who puts in the work. It's you who puts out the content. It's you who, makes your channel the best that you can make it, and even better as you go along. And I think I've come a long way when it comes to where I started and where I am now, and I'm super confident that I can make it even better and better as I go along. And that's one thing I love about YouTube, is you're ever changing. You're never actually, complacent. You're always changing things up. You're always experimenting. You're always making things different. I think a lot of people lose focus on that. Most people, they'll focus on the money part alone, and they lose sight of what their channel is. But if you're getting paid by a network, you should at least get some gain from that, whether it's the value they give you as a partner or a fair share of what you earned. The point is, you need to look for a network that's actually going to help you out and not just take your money. And I believe Freedom is one of those networks that will just take your money and not help you out. I mean, their staff, like their support, you know, George always says, oh, just ask us a question, send us an email or something. Well, I've experienced it to where, you know, they wouldn't even send me a message back. Or they would answer it, like, for example, when I first joined up, can you guys help me out with maybe like an intro or something, or an out card or something like that? And they're like, oh, well, we have the branding kit that you can use. It's like, well, I don't want to use the branding kit for that. It's like, I want to have my own intro. I want to have my own end card. It feels like they're so impersonal when it comes to questions like that. And also, sometimes they won't even answer at all. And I'm not alone here when it comes to dealing with their staff and their support. I've talked to other YouTubers, and not only have I experienced it for myself, but they have as well. And it's clear that they're very unprofessional and lazy. I mean, there's no other way to put it. I mean, the attitude they have with most people when it comes to answering simple questions, or at least emailing them back saying we took care of this problem for you, is ridiculous. And I think a partner should help you out in the time of need, or just even answering a simple question. So if you're with Freedom right now, I advise you to leave right now. Especially if you have, like, say, over 1,000 subs or something. There are far better networks out there with better perks and benefits. For me personally, I'm going to be doing a lot of soul searching, and I'm going to let my channel grow a little bit. Like, honestly, I don't want to join up with a network until at least hitting 1,000 subs. Anything less than that, I feel like it's not even worth joining up with a network, period. So, that's pretty much what you have to ask yourself right now. What does Freedom do for me exactly? And if you can't answer that question with any really good answers, then chances are you need to leave the network. And this also applies to any MCN that handles things the same way as Freedom does, or worse. Hope this helps anybody out who's deciding to either join any MCN for that matter, or Freedom, or if they're deciding if they want to leave or not. Now, I also have another question for you guys that you can leave down in the comment section. What does YouTube mean to you? Hope you guys have an awesome day today, and don't forget to rate this video.
But when the demons come, do you see my face? What does the serpent hide from the flame? If he only can smell